Sup?
What's up? 3 guys in the table.
And a Lego head? And
Two guys in a Lego head and a man. And I forgot my Lego braiding, but that's okay. I feel like we haven't been here in a couple weeks, but then I realized, oh, wait, we haven't.
We haven't.
Technically, we weren't here last week.
Somebody went on vacation.
What a loser. Dude, that was so much fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you did time off.
It was hard. I must have gained like 40 pounds.
All you did was eat.
I know.
I got a picture every night from a new restaurant. He's eating a steak this big around.
That was great.
Plate of fries.
Somebody commented. So, for those of you that didn't pay attention or care, last week.
Or both.
Or both. Was our 15th wedding anniversary.
For our 12 listeners that did watch, we knew that.
So, instead of going away on a vacation, Maureen and I decided, hey, we're going to send the kids to my in-laws who live in Sarasota. Thank you, Patty and Tim. You guys are awesome. Taking the girls for a week. And Maureen and I just stayed home and then did day trips. We went to Sarasota one day. We went to Mount Dora. We went to Tampa. Well, we just ate some amazing food. So every day we used the hashtag the Girardins Eat Florida. So nice. Just going through all the amazing stuff. Yeah. And
looks like y'all had fun.
Somebody commented on it was like Wednesday or Thursday. I've gained 10 pounds just from seeing your pictures. Like, But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a cool time to just celebrate our 15 years and just relax. And got to hang out with you guys a little bit. And
that was fun.
Get some sushi.
Well, you're a hard worker. I'm glad you guys took vacation. Unless it was an anniversary. Kind of a big one, 15.
Yeah, 15 years was it.
You're like an old pro now.
I know. But like 2 or 3 times people are like, oh, what's the secret? I don't know. Lots of prayer.
Don't kill each other?
Don't smother her with a pillow in her sleep. Probably the other way around.
Refuse to be offended, right?
Yeah. Although I did tell somebody, don't take yourself too seriously. Just learn to laugh. Not like, ha ha, I'm going to laugh at you, but
laugh with each other.
Yeah, laugh with each other. Have lots of fun. But
it's a good medicine, that humor. Anyway, welcome back. Miss you. You're trying to catch the...
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just trying to... I see our comments. My wife said Sanford, not Sarasota. Oh. No, the kids were in Sarasota. We went to Sanford. That's what I said, isn't it? I don't know. Whatever.
I think that's what he's... Mrs. Producer, what did you hear?
I'm staying out of it.
All right. Good job.
Good call.
So you stay alive as a child.
So this is a record for us. We have never done this many shows, ever. So today's 22. But it's also our last show in this location.
Yeah.
Right?
This building is the last time we'll be here.
I think that's
kind of
cool.
surreal.
Yeah.
We used to joke a lot about this old building D on our property at CCW about, man, it'd be a shame if it, burned down by accident or something. We could put a parking lot in, and then I'm kind of like, I'm glad it didn't burn down because we've been meeting here since first of the year. So, yeah, it's been kind of surreal. I'm going to hate to say goodbye to this place. When I first started going to church, I was a little guy in this very building. So it's kind of weird to, be serving here again and for the last time now Sunday. So, and you get to close the show down.
Yeah, I get to preach again this Sunday, so that'd be cool. I was actually talking to somebody yesterday who said when they started coming here like 26 years ago, they remember you being the little guy running around. But yeah, I get
barefoot and getting in trouble.
Get to close out the week this week, or the close this out. So I'll be.
We will be back next week on a new location. So
yes, the show is not ending unless our 12 viewers say we're done and stop watching, and then we would have no choice. But the show will go on.
More than likely wouldn't blame you, but that's
no, not at all. Not at all. But we will still be at our new location. Maybe.
So excited for that, though.
Yeah, we still have to figure out particulars because the new building is not done. So there's a tent, which next Sunday, November 1st, we will be meeting under the tent for services, Sunday at 10:30. So the show will happen near there.
Outdoorsy.
Yeah,
or something like that.
I don't know. We haven't figured that out, but we're just going to kind of wing it. So if one week, we'll be here. We'll have a show, even if it's...
We wing it every week, basically. We can be honest with our people.
Yeah, that's true.
We basically wing it.
There's really nothing written on these. I just hold them to make myself feel important.
I'm sure we know what we're doing.
But, so the show will happen, but in the new building, and that's exciting. I was talking to somebody today, and I was like, I feel like this day was never going to come. Because here it is, October 20th. And 6 months ago, we almost had a building? Something like that, right? And then, hey, and then all of a sudden, here it is, October, and we're still here. Which, hey, it's all in God's timing.
I joked about this Sunday, like, if I learned one thing is that we can plan nothing, and if God has a different plan. 2020 is exactly the opposite of how I would have drawn up a year if I was to do it on paper.
Absolutely.
Well, that's all right.
Absolutely.
God's in charge.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. I'm glad I'm not in charge because we wouldn't get very far if I was.
We'd be doing things like this on Wednesday if you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, wait a minute.
that is what's happening.
So, what are some things to you that have stuck out from this year, whether it be specifically with the show or with our church, or just what are some things that have stuck out in your mind?
Well, without a doubt, the things that have stuck out in my mind throughout this whole process is the willingness of our people to serve and to be cheerful at it. We have some people; they are givers. When we started this whole church thing, one of the last things we like to talk about is money and who tithes what. We don't want to know. Nobody on our staff or elders know who tithes what. We just know it comes and gets handled. But we do have to talk about money. But we did have to, in the very beginning, kind of get an idea of what we might budget. And we have never been as low as what our people committed to. We've always beat that by far. So we have givers, we have servants every time we have a work day, including the men every Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Serve, they come and they work, and they work hard and they work late, and they're always cheerful and they're always so supportive of us and then the decisions we make. And this whole idea of a tent, we kind of talked about this and with the elders and we were kind of like, I don't know, should we be doing this? Are we rushing things? Is it going to be too hot? Is it a lot of work? And we rolled this out to our people, and they're like, no, let's do it. That's why we came here, is to go be up in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do a little extra hard work and meet under a tent for a while, let's do it. So our people, that's what stands out to me.
Yeah.
So how about you?
I think just the people for sure, but I think just the grace. You and I talk about this a lot, that we're just a couple of knuckleheads.
At best.
we're I think you're a very good preacher. You say you're not, but we can agree to disagree on that one. And I wing it most of the time. It's not my words. Hopefully, if it is, shoot me.
And likewise, he's a very good preacher.
But just being able to be who we are and still help lead people. That's been cool. And my kids are my kids. My girls are, everybody knows who my girls are. I was talking to somebody the other day. I was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen your girls in a while, and I miss them running around their bare feet. And this was from CCW.
Hey, it's bare feet building. That's what you do here.
But so it's just, the girls are cutting up on a Sunday morning because in this building we haven't had a spot for kids, which is, I know a lot of people haven't been able to come because of that. And, my girls are younger and they can make some noise sometimes. And, there's been a few looks every once in a while. And
When the video game goes off and some
yeah.
that'll get you a look once in a while.
But so just being able to do life and be able to do what God has called me to do, and not feel any pressure.
Yeah.
And I mean, I want to succeed, but that I put more pressure on myself than anybody ever will. Being able to do life, with you and your wife and some of the other guys on the leadership team, and that's been fun, getting to know you guys and hang out. And
Yeah, absolutely. We need each other. I mean, we come from a field of relationships down the hill where you had more than you could count. I mean, I couldn't keep up with everybody down there, and now it's kind of like we got this little intimate, tighter group of people. And I think it was by design by God, and I think we're growing really deep. And I think once we're unleashed into a new place, we'll be able to spread better, be able to minister better because of how close we get. So.
Yeah, I think the other cool thing is the excitement that is building for our new location. I sent out a bunch of emails today and talked to 3 or 4 different people, and they're all excited, excited for us to come. And it's not us, not anything we're doing. I was talking to somebody who is adjacent to the sheriff department. I don't know exactly how the relationship works, but even the Citrus County sheriffs there's a buzz going around that we're coming up there.
Yep.
It's like, holy cow, that's so cool. And again, it's not anything we're doing. It's we left CCW because we felt God's call saying, hey, go do this. And I've said it many times, we didn't leave CCW to come
200 yards
up the hill, right? Yeah, I was trying to think distance and it just didn't work. I was like, 50 feet? No, that's not right. Anyway.
Caught the big fish.
But so we didn't leave CCW to come up here. We left CCW to go up, and then the fact that it's taking longer than we as people thought it would, but God's timing is perfect, and He's got a plan. And then there's a buzz and excitement because there's a church coming, and people are excited about what God is going to do. And that's really cool to be a part of and to witness.
Yeah, he's going to do amazing things, and the fact that he uses, as you mentioned, a couple of knuckleheads like us, it just shows what God can do and how powerful he is and how awesome our God is. So.
My wife said she has loved watching both of us shine at what God has called us to do.
Is she talking about the shine on
Might be.
my forehead?
Mine's a little shinier than yours. I'm almost sweaty right now.
Your wife is a great encourager, and mine's at work. Otherwise, she'd be saying probably the same things. Our wives are really great encouragers for both of us. And
Yes.
I know I can speak for both of us when I say we would be in a mess if it weren't for our wives. We would probably not be sitting here doing this and
No.
be in some trouble somewhere. But
Not even close.
what a blessing to have Morgan and Stephanie be not just at our sides, but really just behind us all the way, always encouraging us. So
Yeah.
thanks for the comment, Maureen, for sure.
Keeping us in line. Frank said he's excited about a new church, new family, new challenges, and new victories.
That's Frank Polisi?
Frank Polisi.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's a newer addition. He's not brand new. He's been another one of them guys that just jumped in and started serving everywhere. I love his kids. His wife Sarah's awesome. I know my wife and her definitely get along. I'm sure Maureen does too. But yeah, thanks for coming along for the ride, guys. It's we can't wait to do this with y'all.
Yeah. So as we think back, because this is a new chapter. I mean, we've been here 10 months now, but it's a new chapter because we're moving to the building. What are some of your memories as you think back? Now, you've been here for 100 years at CCW, but what are some things, and I know you said relationships, and I know that'll probably be your number one answer because that's just who you are, but what are some things that have stood out to you over the years? Some of your maybe fondest memories or just things that...
Well, I remember a lot of of course, they're built on relationships, the people, but I remember a lot of the lessons specifically taught even early on in this building, like, you had this mindset when you're little, or even sometimes the mindset about church in general is that sacred building you go to on Sunday. And I remember Dave used to say that, one of my mentors used to say that this place is just a building no more special than a liquor store until you walk in. Then the Spirit of God has entered this building because we carry the Spirit of God with us. And it's just a lot of those little lessons about life and not taking the building so serious or the ground so serious, but the people in the neighborhood and around it so serious. And yeah, I remember growing up and around here, like I said, running around barefoot and having a lot of people show me grace because I grew up in this neighborhood, which doesn't necessarily always produce, anyway, I don't want to get into that, but I was that kid that ran around and got on everybody's nerves, and people showed me grace, and I'm so thankful they did, because here I am, doing the will of God, doing the work of God, and that was only because people took time and understood me and tried to, pour into my life. People, it's all about the relationships. I know it wasn't what you're wanting here, but it is what it is about, guys. This is a relationship business at best. And it can only be as good as our worst relationship is, and so we need to make sure that God's in the center of all of them. But yeah, so you're what, 4 years into this, 5?
Yeah, 4.5, something like that. I don't know. I'm terrible with...
What's the fondest memory? Because I remember when your little ones were really little ones.
Yeah.
And she was a young lady, our producer. But yeah, and I kind of watched the kids physically grow up, but also, spiritually and mentally.
For us, CCW coming here started because basically relationships. We lived up in Citrus County, literally 3 minutes from where our new church is going to be, and we had built some relationships. And when we moved from New York, not knowing anybody, which for me was weird because I grew up within 20 minutes of where I was born until I left and came down here, so we didn't know anybody. Made some friends up in Citrus County, went to church up there, but we decided, I don't even know how many years ago now, to homeschool our kids. And we found out about the co-op here. So we started coming Thursdays to co-op and got to know some of the people and got to have some relationships. Actually, how I met Joe Caputo. I started helping him with the PE class, and we both love baseball and some other goofy things, so we bonded over that.
Other goofy things, he said, like baseball.
So when it was time for us to move churches, we said, hey, let's go check out CCW, because we know some people there. It was kind of on our list when we first moved to Florida. We just never got down this far. And my wife and I think all the girls were in New York at the time, so I came by myself with some friends, and I was like, oh, this is a cool church. I really like it. And again, I knew some people and came with some friends that helped. And the next week when they were back, we came and we never left. And so just getting to know some people better, and I'm someone, this is going to come as a shock to people that know me, I'm someone that likes to jump in both feet head
Yeah.
first and just get the work done. And
Do
I was
everything.
really, really cautious with that because I didn't want to just get involved. I wanted to know that this was a place that my kids could come and be loved, and my kids could come and meet other people and see those examples of who Christ is, and that they could be themselves. That's it's really big for me. Being able to be yourself, come as you are. That's why you'll hear me say that a lot because I mean, look at me. And so we were really careful at the beginning not to get too overly involved, and it just one day it just happened. I was hanging out with Joe and met Eli, the youth pastor, and next thing I know, I'm involved fully.
That's how it works.
And
Relationally.
yeah,
That's how
and
it works.
it was because of relationships and because of people like Joe and Eli and some of the other cool people, you down the hill that, so again, most of my good memories are probably relationally based. Archery tag helps, you get to play dodgeball and I worked with the youth group for quite a while.
And I hope your kids do know that they're loved because they certainly are. You mentioned how they run around and stuff, but they are really a good bunch of kids. You've done a good job parenting them.
Well, thank you.
I'll probably give your wife most of the credit,
Yeah.
whichever. That's
Absolutely.
fine. You
Absolutely.
mentioned something about coming as you are, and I hope those of you guys that are watching online, or if you ever get to where you're, please, you need to know you do come as you are, and hopefully you leave transformed. That's our goal. You come as you are, just as God. God doesn't have an expectation of you to come to Him, and we certainly should not have one of you when you come to our church that He lets us have. So, yeah. Well, on that note, one of the things I do have to point out is on a memory is, I remember I'm by nature I'm a servant. I like to be the guy behind the scenes that's serving, sweeping, mopping up, shaking hands, loving on people from behind. This is not my natural comfort zone to be speaking in front of people.
Amen.
And so I remember back in the day, there was a couple of the guys would try to get me to do communion meds, and I've shared this story before about how I eventually got to speak in front of people, and even then it was uncomfortable at best. And I'll never forget one day I was studying at the dealership during lunch, and I didn't know where to go in the Bible. You ever had those days? So you just open it up.
Yeah.
And so I opened it up to the book of Ephesians. I said, I haven't studied the full armor of God in a while. So I went over to Ephesians 6 and I was going through it and I was reading. And about the time I get to the breastplate of righteousness, I get a text from that Joe Caputo you mentioned. Him and Dave had just got done with a meeting and they wanted to see if I would preach one Sunday in July. Well, Dave was getting some surgery and they had a foundations class. And he said the sermon was on the breastplate of righteousness. And so you cannot tell me God didn't intervene and put all that together. How could I say no?
Yeah.
And so fast forward a couple years, and here I am doing this for that was Sunday morning job, if you will. I hate to even call it a job because it's so much fun, but it's still not my natural comfort. But there's no doubt that God had been moving things around to get this to be what happened. So if I didn't answer that call, or if I had said no, who knows who would be your preacher on Sunday mornings for this? If there would even be a.
It's so funny to me because in so many ways, you and I are opposites, and I think that's one of the things that works so well. But I'm the same way. I love preaching just because that's what God has called me to do, but I am not the person to be in the spotlight. I've been a sound engineer for over 20 years now. I prefer to be in a hole in the back and serving and being behind the scenes, but where God's called us, where God's called me, so it's,
He gets to say what he does in my life. I learned that long ago. He saved me from a terrible mess, and he gets to decide what I do and what I don't do. So if I'm humble enough to listen to him. But what do you think of this series we just started last week, this Sermon on the Mount, this greatest sermon ever preached, if you will?
It is intimidating. Because really, what do you say? Like Jesus said it. Okay, done.
You're not going to say any better.
What am I going to say different or better? Or,
What Jesus meant was, Jesus, let me clean this up for you. What are these?
let me clarify. Yeah, like really, what do you? But I think in the bumper that we have, it says something at the beginning, something like such a simple message, but it completely transformed the way we think. And that's, I was listening, I wasn't here on Sunday because we were still on vacation, but I was listening to your sermon, and poor in spirit, the way you explain that, I was like, holy cow, I'd never thought about it in those terms. Like, 'cause like you even started to say, who wants to be poor? Like nobody wants to be poor. And but when you really unpack it, so I think it's going to be a really cool, however many weeks we have, and just going through bit by bit of the Sermon on the Mount. But yeah, it's just to be able to take Jesus' words and say, all right, cool, this is what he is telling his closest friends.
Today.
Yeah. So to be able to take it and, oh, wow, that's still relevant 2,000
Yeah,
years later.
that's right.
Oh, I can learn from that. That's, as you get later on, not to spoil it, but, anger is murder. Ooh, whoops. Lust is adultery. Ooh, yeah. So to be able to just take that and say, oh, I can still learn from this, because you hear so often that, oh, well, the Bible's not relevant. That's not true.
And I believe it answers all your questions, and I talked about this Sunday. I think you could open up Matthew 5, 6, and 7, this Sermon on the Mount, and answer any problem you have, any question that comes up as far as trouble you have in life. And see, the problem with people's minds is this. You take a main topic like, okay, murder, that's because you have hatred in your heart, anger, but then our minds think, okay, what about all these subcategories? Well, what if this happened, or what if this happened, and did God mean this when he... No. What does God say about anger and hatred? It equals murder because it starts from your heart.
Yeah.
There's a proverb, I think it's 4:7. It says, above all else, guard your hearts because it's the wellspring of life. Or one of the versions says, because everything you do flows from your heart. And that's what God wants, and he's challenging the heart. The funny thing is, I believe Jesus comes on the scene at a time when Israel needed to change. They needed some new message, and they got one they didn't expect. I mean, they're expecting the Messiah to come and wipe out Rome and give them their land back and be a power here on earth. And Jesus came with a message about mercy and forgiveness and healing and being meek and all those, the humility.
Yeah.
And they didn't expect that. And I think, ironically, when we were sitting down talking about this series, what better time than as we unleash CFCC, Christ's Family, into Homosassa?
Yeah.
I believe it's a place that's looking for a new message.
Yes.
Looking for a change, looking for something, that same message of peace and mercy and meekness and humility. So, looking forward
when we first started talking about this, we were planning this, we were thinking, oh, do we come up with a cool title, catchy, and one of the things we came up with was something like the same message, renewed and different, but
brand
the
new
same.
old or something like that.
But it's so true because it's so relevant.
like you said, hard to go wrong with the words of Jesus. So,
Yeah.
and we're going to preach that as long as we got breath. So,
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be, it's a longer series, which being the first time I've ever actually planted a church, first time I've preached this often, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes, but it would be cool to take us, 4 months to get through this? So
17 weeks.
Yeah, so that'll be pretty cool to go through that, and like I said, to just kind of dissect it, read along with it, study it, and see it again for the first time.
Yeah.
I think some of it will be
And
pretty
we
cool.
relay it to a new people is going to be so fun. I can't wait to be November 1st up there and beyond. So.
Yeah, and it's November. We're making a big deal about November 1st, but it's going to continue past that. It's not like, oh, we're going to go for November 1st, and hey, we're going to have a big party under our tent, and then we're going to come back. No, once we're there, we're there.
Yeah.
So
it.
invite your friends, and invite your friends. Come out and join us November 1st, starting November 1st, and every subsequent Sunday after that, and we'll have some other stuff planned. And 10:30 under the tent, and if you're following us on Facebook, you're seeing this on Facebook. There's an event. Invite your friends to that, but not just to the church, the event for the first one. Invite them to come to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a Christmas and Easter talk, but it's not. Church is not just 1 or 2 days a year. It should be every day, really. But we're there every Sunday, and we're there for you, for your friends, for people that are hurting. We just partook in or helped with a service yesterday, and people are hurting. People are hurting everywhere. But that's what we're there for. We're not there. You don't go to the doctor because you're healthy. Doctor's for the sick people, right? That's really what church is. And I know that looks all different ways, and you can be spiritually sick or whatever. But again, it's not about us. It's not about our building. It's not even about our tent. It's not about this silly show. It's about the message. It's about taking Jesus' words and letting that transform your heart. And I think that's maybe the key to the series we're doing is we're just trying to make what Jesus said understandable. I know sometimes, I went to Bible college, and sometimes I read the Bible and I'm like, huh, what? Well, I don't get that. And I think that's all I'm trying to do when I preach sometimes is take something that is almost too profound for me to even understand and take it and make it simple. But all that to say is we can't do this without you guys. We're just the two of us. Yeah, we can hang out anytime we want. We can go Pat's pool and hang out, but we can't do
Good.
church without you guys.
Yeah.
And you never know, kind of rabbit trail here, you never know the impact that you're going to make on someone's life, even just by sharing a post. Say, hey,
Yeah.
come to church. Because you don't know sometimes, even your best friends, sometimes you don't know what they're dealing with. So yeah, that's my sales pitch for us.
I'm buying.
Cool.
Sounds like a good pitch.
We're excited. It takes an army. You know, if you're part of our family, thank you. We appreciate all the hard work that you have already put into this and all the hard work you will. If you're not part of our family yet, come hang out with us. We're a little weird. We're a little quirky.
Just a little though, not all the way. Just a.
I'm the weird one. You know, we say and
Just
do
trying to be nice about that.
dumb things, but yeah, it's we try to love people the best we can, and the example that we have been shown, we try. We don't always get it right. I know I don't, for sure. You can talk to my wife and kids. I screw up every day, but it's all about Jesus. It's all about His love.
You could share your favorite church memory with us, and then next week we'll read those. What do you think?
Yeah, that'd
Maybe
be
as
pretty
we
cool.
move into the new building, we should share your favorite church memory. Just a sentence or two, nothing crazy long if you can, but unless it's only describable in a long
Yeah.
paragraph. But we'd like to read your best church memory, the one that's made you who you are today, basically. So
Yeah. Throw that in the comments below, or shoot one of us an email. Both our emails are on the website. Send them to me because Pat gets too many emails and can't keep up with them. I'm the more organized one as well. But yeah, comment that. We can get with that next week. And if there's, we said this a couple weeks ago, if there's something, you know, we're experimenting with this show. So if there's something you'd like to hear us talk about, or if there's something you'd like to ask us or see us do, or, you know, throw it in the comments. I'm game for almost anything. I'll try almost anything once. Not everything. Almost anything.
it's warm in here, isn't it?
It is.
Your head's starting to sweat.
It is. These lights are hot and the air's not working. And just think next week we're going to be outside. That's going to
Yeah,
be,
righteous.
we'll have to get a big old fan.
It's
And
gonna be
told you,
awesome.
I'm hot all the time. So, and temperature. Anyway. So yeah, this week, now that we've gone there, coming Sunday, I am continuing our Sermon on the Mount. I am going through Matthew chapter 5, verses 6 through 9, a couple more of the Beatitudes. So I'm looking forward to what God is going to say through me, because I, as of this moment, really have no idea. But that's the cool thing about it. Come and join us on Sunday. Where's my clicker? We are here at 10:30. Just one last time. We'll get there in a second. Check us out on Facebook. If you're watching this live, you are on Facebook, and we also post this to YouTube and Instagram. You can follow us at cfcc.church, also our website. We've got some cool stuff happening. You can contact us through there. Like I said before, our information is on there, emails and whatnot. You can see our ugly mugs, which you're looking at right now. I think our beautiful wives are on there.
I tricked mine.
Did you?
Yep, that's why she married me. I tricked her. She doesn't know I'm this homely yet.
After like 40 years of marriage, she has no idea, right? No, 26?
24 this year, yeah.
4. I always get that confused. But I didn't promise your wife I'd remember your anniversary.
That's-
I promised
that's
my wife
fair
mine.
enough.
So I made her. I said I am going to screw up. I am going to forget things. But I will never forget anniversary and birthdays. And to this day, I don't think I have yet.
Y'all gonna party like you did this time every year?
I can't afford that, man. This was 15 years.
You
This
gotta
was
save up for a year.
This was yeah. Actually, somebody said something the other day about save up for the 20th. So I got 5 years. I was
Yes.
like, okay, I can do that.
You go on a cruise for that one.
Yeah.
We'll go with you just because we need an excuse to go on a cruise.
Cool.
right.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, because in 5 years, somebody else will be running the church, and we don't have to worry about it. So apparently, in November 1st, it's going to be a high of 79 with a slight breeze. So thanks, Frank, for that.
Hope
'cause-
slight is slighter than you would think slight would be.
yes, I don't know.
Better.
As long as the tent doesn't blow over, I think we're good.
We have fans.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll talk to God about it.
So anyway, check us out on the website or Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. YouTube, we're still working on that as a work in progress. I feel like I say that way too much, but I always hear people, I love YouTube, but then we have like 4 followers or subscribers on YouTube. They're subscribers. So go subscribe to our YouTube page.
There you go.
Give it some love. It misses you. and it needs more attention and love because everybody loves YouTube, right? Anyway,
love
YouTube
YouTube.
is Christ Family Christian. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. Leave me alone, Michaela. My daughter's over here laughing at me. You can hear her
She's
giggling
our
in the background.
producer. We got to be nice to her.
I do. I do. Because without her, this wouldn't happen. She does all the tech behind the scenes stuff. I guess we said before, we will still be here every Wednesday. Not here, but here with you every Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Yeah, just a reminder. Anyway, Sundays. This is our last Sunday, like we said, at CCW. It'll be kind of bittersweet, but kind of cool. Come join us at 10:30. Again, we will still be live on Facebook at 10:30, and then later on in the day, there's usually, although last week I was on vacation, so I slacked off a little bit, but later on Sunday it does get posted to Instagram and to YouTube for those that aren't on Facebook.
It's because he's awesome.
Yeah, cool. That's all I got.
That's all I got. You want to pray for us?
Sure.
All right.
Heavenly Father, I thank you for this time. I thank you for just the silliness and the laughter that we know comes from you. And even though we joke and we laugh, we do love you and we care about people. That's what, at the end of the day, we are on mission for you. I just pray that you would continue to bless my brothers and sisters that are listening or watching. They feel your love, maybe through something we said or through a neighbor or through a text, or just continue to guide us on this journey. Thank you for your words in the Bible that we can stop and listen and read. In your name I pray. Amen.
Man. 2 guys, a Lego guy, a producer, a bottle of water,
Cable and
Facebook, and a wannabe YouTube channel out.
see you guys later.